Hi guys, good day and welcome to Essos Villa with Coach E, the emotions doctor, also known as the restorer. So today I want to talk about your faith. I'm just going to share this perspective with you that has really helped me, you know, in the last 2 or 3 months or thereabouts. And it was something my pastor shared. And I just don't talk about it. Faith is believing, isn't it? It's believing a person for something. It's believing, so not a person now, God. Faith simply just means that you're believing God for something. And when you now get to the book of Hebrews, which a lot of people have always talked about and say, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The substance of things hoped for. They've seen that as a definition, but I really do not think that that's a definition when it comes to faith. I think it is something that is telling you about the concepts, right? It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So, in other words, faith is laying hold on something that has not been made visible to your physical eye, right? But there is hope in your spirit concerning this thing. It is the substance of things hoped for. And what is substance? Substance is not abstract. Do you understand? Oh, the substance for so and so thing is something you can see. But all these long story cut shorts, let me tell you the analogy. Let me paint the analogy my pastor used that has just helped this matter sit well with me. So, um, everybody knows the president of Nigeria, isn't it? In this regime, Tinubu. But it's another thing when somebody says Tinubu knows me. Do you understand? Tinubu knows me. And then Tinubu that knows them, not the one all of us knows as the president. Tinubu, the personal relationship that Tinubu has with them. And then Tinubu now gives them a promise. So, you know what? You get that contract. I'm going to award you a contract of, let's say, $3 billion. The person has not seen the contract, but there is a substance of it. What is the substance? Sometimes that substance, in fact, in this case, the substance of the hope in that person has, that the person will even go about and telling people, no worry, calm down, just time, give me time, is what? Is the fact of who said it. If anybody, random person, just walks up to that person and says, I'll give you a 3 billion naira contract, yeah, you don't know the person. You're not going to put faith in that. In fact, you're not going to hope because you don't know if this person has the capability. But when the president of the country knows you one-on-one, had a conversation with you behind closed door, has your phone number, knows you by name, and says, hello, Esoe, I'm going to be awarding you a project of $3 billion. And my people, it hits differently. Why does it hit differently? Because this is not a case of I know the president like every Nigerian citizen. This is a case of the president knows me and the president said this to me. And because of his position, I can go to bed trusting that will happen. So this is the real question. Faith now is not just a thing of believing, but it's a thing of how much do you know the person you are believing in, the person you are hoping on. So as a believer, I need faith. Yeah. This faith is a thing of how much do you know the one who has spoken to you. When you pick the Bible, when those prophetic words come, when you read your Bible, you see the promises. How much of God do you know? To be able to say, because God said it, and I know God, therefore, I am holding on to this thing and knowing that it will come to pass. That's faith. In fact, the way my pastor explained it, that just made it sit with me was, those of us who grew up in the house, or I've been in the house with daddy. So I happen to be one of those who have the privilege to call my pastor daddy. Not because church members call their pastors that, but really like in the sense of daddy. Do you understand? In the house, then, in fact, there's a way daddy says, I'm going to give you this. We bounce. Hey, we just bounced. I remember one time they stole my phone in my final year in school. And I just got back, came down from the car, and gradually came back home. Daddy, they stole my phone. And my father said, relax. I will get you a better one. Even if it took like 3 days, 1 week, I was not perturbed. You know why? Because it is my father that said, and I know my father that I can hold on to his words. Do you understand? I will get you a better phone. He didn't say I was giving the phone now. The phone could have come immediately. In fact, in the same breath, we could have sent any of my brothers to go and get it. But I think that phone took about 1 week or thereabout. And guess what? I was not perturbed. In fact, I was bragging and bouncing and waiting for my new Samsung phone to show. Why? Because it was my father that said it. And he said that, it was just the way he explained faith, and it just sat with me. That's why I'm sharing this with you. Because sometimes this faith now becomes like something that we are not able to surmount. But the truth is, like I said, faith just means how much of God do you know? How much do you really know him? How much do you know who have spoken? He has said so that I can boldly say, how much do you know him? That's faith. Just knowing him, knowing that he will never change, knowing that he's the same yesterday, today, and forever, knowing that I can go to bed lying on the pillow of his promises, even though it looks like there is a delay, but because God has said, because I know who has said, because I know in whom I have believed, I am not waiting for the signs around me. No, it is just a hope in my spirit, based on the relationship, based on the knowing of who has given me that promise. I just thought to drop this with you, and I really hope that somebody gets to listen to this, and then your faith is stirred, your hope is awakened, right? And you realize that if it was God that said, so all you need to do is just be sure, was it God that said this? That's all. And if it is God, what do you know about God? How much of God do you know? Do you know God enough to say, okay, even if it looks like this thing is not looking all rosy, is not going the way I know God said? The delay, I'm not giving up because I know God said. Remember again, the concept, it is the substance of things hope for, and that hope is what drops in your spirit that you can. Hope is not like dictionary English language hope. I'm hoping for. Hope in the Bible speaks of certainty. Yes. The same thing that makes you realize that the things that are seen were created from the things that are not seen. That's faith. That's faith. Did God say it? Then I can go to bed and lie on the pillow of his promises. Or if it seems like it's not coming, I can go to war, holding those words and saying, you said. It is just the same way when you remember that it was the president that told you, and because he knows you, not we all know the president. No, the president knows you and said to you, I'm giving you that $3 billion dollar contract. If he has not given to you, you will keep asking. No, you will keep asking. You will send him text message. Excuse me, sir. He will do it because it is his word. It's the same thing, as believers. Hold on to that word. If you want to war, which you should, war with those words, with the backing of I know. That's my emphasis right now. Faith simply means I know God. I know who I've spoken. How much of him do you really know? That's the call. That's the work. To know who I've spoken. To say I know in whom I have believed. I hope this really blesses somebody. Until I come your way next time, I remain Coach E, the Emotions Doctor, also known as the Restera. Do have a beautiful week ahead.